Lily White.
Carbon copy. Lily White is the way Grok has described
Yes.
Walter.
Grok has issues today. When I bring up the backstory or the synopsis for Carbon Copy, it likes to talk about Lily White, petty theft,
Yeah.
courtroom divorce drama. What else did I say?
Walter getting arrested about a radio, something like that, or getting beat up by Repo Man.
Roger, Denzel Washington, is from the underbelly of Los Angeles.
Or Harlem, depending on which one you read.
Yeah, depending on which time Grok decides to answer, it's bizarre. So if you're going for information about your movies, although I know a lot about Carbon Copy because I was a kid when it came out and we saw it played a lot at the time. And Grok doesn't seem to remember anything about it, even though it has the ability to go out there. So it must be gathering all its information from Wikipedia because Wikipedia could suck my nuts.
That's right. Yeah. So let's tell them about that movie. Right there. Yeah, that's what you guys are.
And Lily White.
Right. Alabaster. That's the way I like to use. But what is Carbon Copy actually about?
I have no idea.
Carbon Copy is about this guy who is married to his boss's daughter, who one day is revealed to him that how old is he in the show? Movie 17?
17.
Roger, 17, played by Denzel, is his
son. He was 29 at the time.
Yeah, did not look 17.
No, he did not.
Not one bit. But lets Walter know that he is not an illegitimate son, kind of, but he had a relationship with Lorraine that was kind of hush-hush, not really known. It was interracial and therefore
it was known, but
so like that small kind of circle.
At the time, Walter was going to college and he met Lorraine and moved in with him.
Yeah.
And then moved out to
3 years, I think the relationship lasted.
He moved out to California to get a better life, to get a job and then marry her.
Yeah.
But he got caught up in a corporation where his boss is like, no, you can't do that. You don't want to do it. His boss is old fashioned.
Yeah.
So Walter, who is also Jewish, decides to change his last name and also disassociate himself with Lorraine. She doesn't tell him that she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So he has no idea. So he ends up getting married to the boss's daughter and living a life of luxury and comfort until Roger, Denzel Washington, shows up and just wants to meet him.
Yeah.
But
this is after Lorraine died.
Yeah.
As well.
But when you don't find out until the end, which is one of the problems with this movie, Denzel Washington goes there and Walter doesn't treat him like his son. He treats him like a color. Like he's some black kid, even though he knows he's the son. He's like, oh, well, what are we going to do? We're going to have to really kind of cover it up and sort of sneak you into the house. I still want you. You're my son. I love Lorraine. I'm devastated by her. I want to be a part of your life, but we have to be sneaky about this. Of course, that falls apart immediately.
Yeah.
He ends up getting kicked out of his house by his wife, played by the great, St. James, Susan St. James. She was a big name back in the late 70s, early 80s, at least for us. She was in another movie called Love at First Bite.
Okay.
Which is a vampire movie. Not a good movie, but we'll watch it. It's good.
All right.
Let's see. George Hamilton. He was a sexy man back then for some reason, but he wasn't really. You'll see what I'm talking about. He also was in Zorro the Gay Blade.
Oh yeah, that's another one we're supposed to see.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I can't believe you haven't seen. We'll watch Zorro the Gay Blade first because I like it more than the other one. But anyway, that's beside the point. So he gets kicked out of his house, loses everything because he wasn't smart enough to keep anything in his name. It's all in his wife or the company's name.
Yeah.
Ends up wanting to do what's right for his son because Roger is pretending that he has nothing and knows nothing.
Yeah.
So George Segal is trying to do right, to take care of him as his son and to help him. And eventually at the end, it all falls apart. Walter goes to prison, and then Denzel Washington comes in. Roger comes in and says, "You know what? When I walked through the door, you saw me as a color and not as your son, not as Lorraine's son. And I wanted to get back at you and hurt you because of that. But you know what? You cared. You showed me you cared. You weren't what I was expecting."
Mm-hmm.
And then they end up moving to Chicago together.
Is it Chicago?
Yeah, he's going to school there.
Okay.
That's where his college is. I think it's Chicago. That's what Grok told me. I can't remember what school. Anyway, Roger is in college because
Yeah.
he's a very smart kid and he graduated early.
Mhm.
So he's in pre-med, which is actually, if you think about it, he went on to do St. Elsewhere. So this is his character from St. Elsewhere.
Look at that universal, like,
Right?
that movie tie-in.
It's true. It's
Yeah.
true. But you know, I personally think it's a cute movie, despite its many, many flaws. It's kind of amazing in 1981, and it's done by probably one of the greatest filmmakers of all time, who did one of our absolutely favorite top 10 movies ever. What was that movie?
I have no idea.
The Last Dragon.
Ah, yes. The Last Dragon.
Sukiyaki hot sake. You suck it to me.
I love that
I
movie.
suck it to you.
Yeah.
Ha. When you
A
got
Vanity
glow, you
song.
got glow. You got
17.
I know. I was just what you said.
I'm not singing that song. No.
I
So
wasn't going to let him bait me into saying something.
So Carbon Copy.
What do you like about it? Your 3 favorite things.
This one's interesting. So one, I think it's a lot funnier than maybe people who hear the jokes and stuff feel it is. I feel like more people are inclined to be offended or think things are in bad taste. But here's the thing, and this is kind of what Roger was trying to instill on Walter. If you've seen it and been around it, you know how it is, so you don't really care. So people saying that type of stuff or having those viewpoints, not that big of a deal. It's just is what it is. And there's some really funny lines built into kind of the racial aspects of it that I thought was funny. My favorite one being Vivian felt great after bringing him in for the summer program because again, he doesn't get brought in as his son. He gets brought in as this exchange
adopted
student.
son.
It's weird. That has to go to a vote, by the way, because both women have decided they need a vote over Walter.
Well, it's because the daughter is dating someone who's going to be running for office.
Yeah.
And they're engaged to be married. So they have to make sure
Everything's on the up and up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't be too black in San Marino.
That's right. Or
Unless you're the first.
Or being arrested or beat up with lead pipes at a protest. Anyway, so I just think it's funnier than maybe people would allow it to be in this current day and age, or if they look back at it, they feel again, there's a part where Walter's introducing the idea of adopting Roger, and Vivian's not really for it, and she asks us why we have to do this, and Walter goes, well, because we owe them, and it leads into one of the most ridiculous lines where she literally goes, well, they have welfare, they have low rent. I think she says something else. And then she goes, and they have at least 4 TV shows. Haven't we given them enough? And I just like had a friend in the room and he was kind of just like shocked by that joke. But I thought well, not less shocked at the joke itself, but more to hear it said. That's what I mean. Because
fine. You live on the planet Earth. You're going to hear things that aren't going to
I know.
make you happy.
Yeah, but being shocked doesn't mean necessarily offended. Just like, oh, they actually said that joke. Wow. And I laughed the same way I laughed when Vivian was very happy that she gave the black boy chicken for dinner. That cracked me up.
I like chicken. I know you do.
That she was so proud. She was so proud. So proud. So that's part 1. Point 2. There's parts. So beneath all of this kind of like racial banter and the whole, young black man surrounded by white people in this different space, it had some really just point blank kind of like truths about things. There's exchanges where Walter is either expressing a situation or secret to, I think, his friend Victor. And then there's also, he talks to, I think, Vivian's dad a lot. And he's very interesting because he's very open about this kind of messed up stuff he does with these friends. There's a part where I think it's his lawyer or accountant or something like that goes, you telling me all this stuff that I want to hear. He goes, well, you're a dear friend. And there's things you tell friends who are dear. Like there's these like little cute, just like direct snippets that are just really profound. Where he goes like, you're the mistake of my mistakes. That's another good line he brings up. There's the part where Vivian's dad goes, we go where the wind blows. The wind blows white. And I was like, what? It was just some really crazy stuff. So, and of course the actual ending too, the kind of morality of it, because no matter the way Walter is reacting, it's very clear it's not a space that he can just be like balls to the wall about, this is my son, I'm taking care of it, without it causing all these waves. And even when he did try to tiptoe it in, when he revealed that Walter was his son, because Vivian wanted to try to, entrap him into letting Roger stay there. And then he goes, okay, well, I accepted Marianne, and Marianne's not my daughter. So she goes, yeah, but that's my natural child. You would have to accept, my child. And he goes, okay, well, Roger's mine. And then she blows up, has to get sedated. The pastor has to come in and talk to her. So
That was a good scene.
It's just crazy. And then the third one, I like Walter. I actually like Walter a lot. I thought he was a good character.
I had to say, George Segal, you probably don't remember him very much. He was actually a charming actor.
Yeah.
He was in a lot of stuff at the time. The 60s, 70s, and 80s. He was still around. You remember the movie 2012?
That's a long time ago. I remember it, but
You remember the cruise ship? The two old men on the cruise ship?
Oh, he was one of them?
Oh, he was the non-black one.
Okay. I'm not, here I was confused too when I was looking at the movie post. I wasn't sure. Thank you for clarifying.
But he always brought a little bit of charm to the stuff that he did. And I think despite the lack of really quality writing on this thing, because it was more like, which would be one of my points, it was written kind of like a made-for-TV sitcom kind of thing.
Yeah.
At times. His character is strong enough to come through that.
Yeah.
I like that. And that's probably why you resonate with him.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be the made-for-TV writing.
No, most of the writing is really a mess. Some of the singers are good.
It was literally like a movie made up for TV from 1980.
Mm-hmm.
Even the
that intro went on for so long.
Yeah, gosh, I think they were padding the time a little bit.
Maybe
what it is,
because really, at the end of the day, there's only so much you could probably do with this sort of storyline in this type of movie, especially when that's the main draw.
Yeah.
The main draw is that whole clash of lifestyles, kind of the trading places, seeing what it's like being at a certain level of society.
When an underbelly meets a lily white.
Yeah, and what fuses together. All right, what's your three?
Grok. Well, I'm gonna start with the negative. I already said it. It's written like it was made for TV. The dialogue is very generic for the most part. There are a couple of moments that really shine. I mean, and more than one, such as, which will go into my number two. So let me stick with one. Music's like a made-for-TV movie. Some of the acting's like a made-for-TV movie. The sets look like they're all sets on a soundstage in a TV series. So it could have been better if it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
Particularly the music, but that particular style of music was in a lot of stuff at the time.
So is the norm.
Yeah. Number two, some of the conversations, the individual conversations that took place were quite astounding, because you have the first one where he's talking to his father-in-law.
Yeah.
And his father-in-law is Vivian doesn't really want to have relations with Walter.
Yeah.
So she calls up her father and says that Walter tried to grape her this morning in front of the maid. So his stepfather has a talking to him and says, go ahead and just get a woman on the side.
Mm-hmm.
In the end, we really don't have anything. So you're really, he was basically telling him that he was worthless. That part of his life was over with. So you just deal with it, get this piece on the side, and move on.
Yeah.
That was actually a pretty good conversation.
Yeah.
And then later on, the conversation where his stepfather comes in and he's living in that squalor and they're asking for him back.
Mm-hmm.
It was a serious moment, and it was a decision that he had to make right there. Granted, they followed it up with that really stupid scene where Denzel Washington is being chased by the cops, which was really stupid.
Yeah, that was a little shoot, like
thrown right in. Oh, I was there. You know how it is when you get somebody, a black guy there, and some other people robbing something. Because you're there, you're normally not.
Yeah.
If you're running, yeah, duh.
That's what he said.
Yeah,
he said, "Why are you running?"
But when Roger, Denzel Washington, comes into the prison at the end and he lays out his entire plan, that was a great scene. That was actually something that I would not have been expecting. Because one, they didn't really make any hints that anything other than what Roger was presenting himself as.
Yeah.
He didn't have a plan, but it turned out that the whole thing was a plan to ruin Walter's life. And I like that. I like that a lot. And that also came to another, moment where Walter had to make a decision. And despite its TV feeling roots, it rose above it in certain areas. And then my third would be, what would my third? I'm going to say Denzel Washington. 29, first movie. He did a great job. He was a good actor. Matter of fact, like between him and George Segal, they were actually, the guy who played his stepfather. I can't. He's an old character actor. Has been around forever, but you really had some people that knew how to act in this, and so again, it rises above its made-for-TV feeling roots that you have going on here. And Denzel Washington was able to hold his own against these older, more seasoned actors.
Yeah,
which is kind of unusual, particularly in 1981. What do we have in 1981? Let's see. Give me a break.
Okay.
Man, what was our favorite one? It's got Raj.
Raj.
Yeah. Another family one. It's got Rerun in it. You have to know Rerun.
Maybe, but I don't know what the show you're talking about.
Man, no, you would know it. They actually burned it back in the 90s. I don't remember it. Anyway, you guys had four programs on.
That's right, 4, and that was most important, and that was enough.
But the acting level back then, more different strokes,
like
kind of acting, that kind of stuff. Jeffersons. So we have Denzel Washington here playing something that's completely different than all that for 50 years ago, half a century ago. And I appreciate that. Yep. No, so that's my 3.
All right. Any other scenes that stood out to you?
Well, I mean, I already talked about the 3 most important speeches in there.
Yeah. Like I said,
that's the dinner scene, of course. The chicken. After the dinner scene, when the doctor comes down and then the priest comes down.
Yeah. They had this
and then the stepfather comes down and Walter is just being beaten up left and right.
Oh yeah, by each and every one of them.
That was great.
Yeah. The biggest sin was him saying that God was, maybe not white.
Black. Yeah. How do we know God's? Oh my God! I can't believe I got to go take a tranquilizer.
Yeah, take it back. Even the priest, the pastor's upset about it. I'm like, man. But I mean, again, that's kind of why I really like Walter, because he's still trying to do the right thing in this sea of just completely unreasonable people with really stereotypically off the wall viewpoints, with a kid who was brandishing his race against him. Because that was my other thing. As much as, Roger came to, just kind of see his dad, wonder who this man was that his mother died loving the whole time, and then just went right in and was so happy ruining his life. Of course, the speech he reveals, "Oh, you're a better guy than I thought," yada yada, but you ultimately still treated me like just a black guy. You only saw me as one, which, you know, you usually show you're not that too. So that was kind of like, okay, Roger, but he's 17. His mom died. This dude's not coming off the greatest. Yeah, mess him up a little bit.
Yeah, no, he'd want to share his pain.
Yeah.
He'd want to make sure that he knew
Yeah.
what he did was wrong.
Yeah,
And
but-
I like that for this made for TV movie. I like that.
Yeah.
I know it was in the theaters, but still, it's
Yeah.
such a made for TV movie.
Yeah. I think despite the content overall, there's a real moral kind of story to it that's like about
Strangely.
a dedication to it. Because as you know, as much as Roger really came in and was a whirlwind on his life, he stood by it and stuck with it and ultimately denied invitation back to his previous life with his wife and his business to continue getting to know his son and taking care of him. So that's good stuff.
Yeah. No. So would you recommend it?
Oh gosh, that's a tough one.
1980. I know it is. It is a specific type of movie. Dated.
Yeah, one that not even it's dated, but also, you know, like you said, the made for movie TV-ness. I think my thing with it is that buried beneath the typical low-hanging fruit stuff that people could just point at it and say, "Ooh, it's horrible," or "Ooh, it's offensive," or "Ooh, it's racist." The movie's not trying to do that. That's kind of window dressings. That's the environment. That's the circumstances around what's really a father and son story.
Yeah.
So I think because of that, I feel and see that more than just the no stuff that everyone gets upset about. And I like it.
But
Would I recommend it? That's tough. I'm going to 50-50. It depends on who I'm recommending it to. And if you can kind of see past.
so I have to ask, since you're younger than me, your friends,
Mhm.
would they be able to see past the generic parts of this, the ones that gloss over? Would they be hung on them instead of the actual point that happens would they even be able to hang out to the end when we get the revelation of how all this went down?
Probably not. Most of them, I
They
think,
would
would
tune out. They would be like,
Yeah.
"Oh, come on, I'm so tired of the
Or
basketball scene. Oh my God."
yeah, or you hit a certain portion of seeing it that's all you know, and you
Let's
don't
do
care
that.
anything else about it, which is a lot of people. They see enough of what they want to dislike, and then that's all they'll do.
That's too bad. 'Cause it's worth sticking out to the end.
Yeah.
But I also understand, recommending wise, I would recommend it, but I know people wouldn't watch it because they're not capable of getting past the surface level of their own set of ideas.
Yeah.
So, and plus the fact that it has that 1981 feel to it
Yeah.
would also be a barrier for people, because a lot of people don't like to go visit that particular time for some reason.
Yeah.
I would recommend it though,
Yeah.
because
And we'll say,
they would have to understand that, back in 1981, it was not all hate.
Yeah.
Not like they play today.
Mm-hmm.
So cool.
Yeah. We're going to do the after the movie, get more into it, maybe highlight some more of the specific jokes and whatnot. But I think
Or we'll figure out what other supposedly offensive movies we can watch. So that's actually going to be on our list, because I want to choose every offensive movie out there that I think Tony would be offended by.
yeah, see how this goes.
Now, when I say offended, I'm talking about.
Yeah, guys. So if you want to see that, like, comment, subscribe. Let us know if you saw Carbon Copy.
Yeah. Does anybody even remember this other than me?
I didn't know anything about
You
this
never even
movie.
knew it existed, even though it was Denzel Washington's first movie.
Yeah,
And you know Denzel Washington, right?
yeah. But not everyone goes back to the first beginnings. For instance, when we watched, there's a cult movie we watched.
Which one?
Elizabeth Olsen's first movie ever. Martha, Marcy, Maylene, Madeline, Margarita.
No. Elizabeth Olsen is not even in the same
doesn't
She's in a
matter.
different state from Denzel
Doesn't
Washington. She's in a different
matter.
country.
All I'm saying is,
Now, let's say
just because you like an actor or actress doesn't mean you want to know their very humble beginnings. You saw them what they were in, you liked them for what they liked, and if other things came out, you watched it. There's no reason to do a whole.
So what you're
straight
saying,
from
you don't like
history.
Denzel Washington?
Not that much to go all the way back and see his first thing.
I thought everybody liked Denzel Washington.
I like him. Not enough to go all the way back and see what his first movie was.
Well, now you have.
Yeah, I did. And thank you for bringing it to me.
I hope you've grown a little bit during this podcast.
Yeah, my heart grew three times.
Really?
No.
Okay. Didn't think so. Anyway, we're out of here. We'll talk to you later. Comment, like, and subscribe. Tell us what you think. Let us know if there are other movies like Carbon Copy that came out 50 years ago.
Yeah, let's see.
And there are some great movies at that time, and I do want to go back and watch some of the other ones. Like Car Wash was a big one back then. You know, like we said, we already watched The Last Dragon.
Yeah.
So there are other movies that came out that are not like this, but they're in the same
Yeah.
area. So yeah.
And we're gonna watch some blaxploitation stuff.
Yeah. Now we're gonna watch some Jackie Brown,
That's right.
which is that
Screen,
blaxploitation?
Screen,
or is that-
Dracula Screen.
Yeah. I do want to watch. You know, I remember when in the 70s watching that on Creature Feature, Screen Blackula Screen. That was just something they showed. It was part of it.
So it's just out.
Yeah. But I don't remember anything. I'm pretty sure it's pretty bad.
Probably. But we'll find out.
So, yep, we'll find out. We'll see you next time on something.
Split screen.
Split Screen.
Movie Talks.
Movie Talks.
Thanks.
All right. Bye.